Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. Sharon Henry, Sweets of Sharon on YouTube. How are you guys doing? I always like to give a weather check. Today is going to be double digit, about 16 to 20 degree, and that is going to be quite warm and nice. Um, it can be cool on the cool side because it's kind of windy, but for now it's sunny outside, it's beautiful, and so I'm sitting right here. My window is behind me, is in front of me, so my camera is behind the window, so um you're not gonna get a glare. So it's nice. I'm not using the ring light, so I like it. All right, so just some catching up to do. To say hi to you guys and how you're doing. So again, I'm Sharon Henry, Sister Sharon on YouTube. So guys, today, I want to talk about something interesting. I'm a African, Jamaican African gal. I'm Afrocentric. I love Africa. I love the talking point of Africa and the diaspora, and appreciate Africa and everything. Uh, Love my skin. I'm a dark skinned girl, love my skin and everything. So I was watching YouTube, because I have other content creators that I like, so I watch them. And this guy called Real Marcus. Real Marcus is doing a good job when it comes to comparing Jamaicans with African. He kind of asks question, why aren't African united like Jamaicans? Why this and why that? Those things. So like he was saying something very interesting yesterday. So he was kind of talking to this guy. He featured this guy from the Bahamas. And the guys were saying you don't understand why Jamaica is so much higher than the rest of Caribbean islands when it comes on to culture, their food, how well known they are. For instance, he said he lived in I think his dad is Jamaican and his mom is Bahamian. So he said he's both. But he lived in the Bahamas, right? So and then he migrated to the US. So what I was basically saying, because I don't like to reuse content. So because the content creator Marcus, he had him on, I'm not sure if I should use him, but I can just say what he was saying. So he was saying that, when it comes to the Bahamas and Jamaica, it's very strange how Jamaican Jamaican people are well known, Jamaican music are well known, Jamaican food are well known. But you ask about the Bahamas, even in the US, they will say, yeah, it's a nice place, it's a vacation spot, and that's where it stops. It doesn't go further than Bahamas is a destination, just a tourist destination. But when you talk about, if you say Jamaica, they can tell you a lot of things about Jamaica. And he said even people who have never been to Jamaica, they just know a lot about Jamaica from information from other people who travel or in the news. And he talks about how, you know, Jamaica, yes, it's beautiful too, just like the Bahamas, beautiful just like the other rest of the Caribbean, which we know the Caribbean practically look the same. Beach, rivers, hills, practically look the same. But Jamaica, when it comes to the culture of Jamaica, Jamaican people, Jamaican music, is well known. He said that in the Bahamas, you go out on the street, you will hear Jamaican music played all day through. You will be lucky if you hear two Bahamian songs. And they do have Bahamians musicians. You know, they have Bahamians athletes and all of that. But you only heard about Jamaican athletes, Jamaican song, Jamaican food. So me, what do I think? Why is it that, you know, Jamaicans, Jamaican is not that big. Jamaica is not that big a place. No, we are 144 square miles. Yeah, but Jamaican people, hey, is just larger than life. Look at me, right? So, so I'm just saying that Jamaican people, we're just sunny, we're just outgoing, we don't hide nothing. You know, I want to tell you something about other Caribbean people, because as I'm a church lady and there's a lot of Caribbean people in my church. So sometimes we're having like culture night, okay? So the Jamaicans will come out with things about Jamaica, you know, common entrance. They will act out common entrance. So common entrance in Jamaica, if I'm talking to the Jamaicans in the diaspora, they know what common entrance. It's an exam. You know, I took it when you are, oh, my Alexa is talking to me. Yeah, when I talk loud, she hear Alexa. So anyway, right. So um common entrance. Okay, shut up, Alexa. Oh gosh. Yeah. So yeah. So common entrance is the entrance exam that you take from primary school to high school. So, you know, anything that happened, 9 nights. 9 nights is after your loved one died, and then you keep awake, a festive thing. So and that is either, it could be either before the burial, the sun. If they're gonna bury on Sunday, the Saturday night, there's a big thing, you know, music and food and everything. And so that is done before the burial. So we showcase our culture. We make comedy out of our culture. So I remember we had cultural night at a social, and everything about the Jamaicans we act out. And our dear, beautiful Caribbean island friends, they would just sit there and laugh. And then we would say, so guys, where's your comedy? Where's your comedy? And they would say, well, there's nothing funny about us. But it's not that. They're very bashful. They're very private when it comes to their culture, right? They're very private when it comes to their culture. And we make comedy out of our situations. You know, if we had, when we were growing up, if we were poor, we want everybody to know. We don't hide it. We share it with everybody. You know, when I was little, you know, we never have medicine. We never go to the doctor. We would talk about it. Our parents, if we get a scratch, we run for the good old kerosene oil. Those who do not know, kerosene oil. So we call it in Jamaica kerosene oil. You run for the good old kerosene oil, and mama just dip her hand in there. And we had, I tell you, so we would share our culture with our little lantern, and she would warm her hand over the lamp, over the fire, and rub it. And there you go, that's the first aid. Kerosene oil was the first aid for any cuts and bruises and bumps that you get. What is kerosene oil? So kerosene oil is the oil that you use to light firewood. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that was a medicine. You know, you have a cold on your chest at night. Yeah, the same lamp. And I'm telling you what I grew up with. You know, in my early days when I was a child, you know, we had two lamps. So we had the lamp with the home sweet home lampshade, you know, and it could be that they would screw it off, lift it up, put your hand on the oil, and warm it over and rub it on your chest. So we share those things. We talk about those things. You know, we talk about asham. You know, when you parch the corn and you ground it in the mortar, and you put sugar in there and feed your hungry belly picnic them and give them water for drink and send them at them bed. We share that. But Other Caribbean islands, they're very private with their past. They're very private. So that's why I think we are known um, all over the world. Our stories are very enlightening and interesting, and we talk them in our musics. Hey, in our music, oh God, we don't have no shame when it comes to our music. I listen to some music in Jamaica. Hey, I don't even want to talk about. They talk about green arm. When your arm smelly, man use that make music, your arm green. Yes. You know, trust me. So, Jamaicans showcase themselves, showcase their culture, showcase poverty, showcase everything. So everybody know everything in Jamaica about Jamaican people. So this is why the guy was wondering, why is it that Jamaica is up here and the Bahamas is down here? It is simply because of how we conduct ourselves in the world. You know, hey, everywhere you see a Jamaican man, him tell you, yo, me can't sing, Yeah, man, me can't sing. And if you're a foreigner and you come to Jamaica, he's gonna entertain you. The Jamaican guy is gonna entertain you. He's gonna be dancing and singing. Everybody a pop music. Everybody pop something. Everybody want broke out, and everybody. Hey, nowadays everybody they on Instagram with the music. When you go to the other, I've been to almost a lot of Caribbean countries. You name them: Grand Cayman, Saint Lucia, Saint Kitts, the Barbados, all over the Caribbean I've been to, and we go there. We always go there on cruises. So we would come off and we would go on the island. And you don't see that. Nobody would be entertaining you unless you go into you get off the ship and you go into the room, into their big place where they welcome you as tourists. But I'm talking on the street. On the street, man, in Jamaica, you're entertained. People want you to know that, listen, I want you to know me, Yeah, man, take my number, put me on YouTube, man. Yeah, me want to bust out. That's what Jamaican people stay. So that's how we are well known. Our Jamaican food, with our spices is the best food, tastiest food. So I'm not saying that Jamaican food is better than, all of the foods, but Jamaican food is tasty, exotic. People would travel and come. We see them on YouTube when they try Jamaican food, Jamaican spice, or they love Jamaican food and Jamaican spice. And we have variety of porridge, beverages, fried stuff, baked stuff, cook stuff. The guy talk about Marcus, real Marcus was talking to another guy, and he's talking about when he went to Jamaica, they do chicken in so many different ways that when you go to the restaurant and you ask for chicken, I'm all over the place with this, right? Because the guy is talking about our food and everything, our food, our music, our sports. So, and the food. So he said that when he went into the restaurant and he said he wanted chicken, they asked him, what kind of chicken you want? Because the chicken in there is done in so much different ways. You have fried chicken, baked chicken, jerk chicken, curry chicken, barbecue chicken, stewed chicken, right? It's chicken, but it's done differently and it tastes differently, right? Oh, you can't do not much with curry goat. Curry goat is curried goat. But we do stew goat, brown stew goat too. With the fish, we have scabish fish, fried fish, we have steamed fish. That's what we're talking about. We have so many different ways to flavor up our food and to flavor ourselves and to sell ourselves all over the world, right? I criticize my Jamaican people sometimes a lot of how the behavior or they behave weird. You know, I'm kind of shame me sometimes. I'm gonna tell you something. So, um, in my workplace, my previous job, I had a job where I stayed long from I came to Canada. I'm working in that job. All right, so in my workplace, my best friend was a Ghanaian, is a Ghanaian girl because we're friends all now. You know, so she's Ghanaian, and there was another Ghanaian girl, and they weren't so together. But me and the Ghanaian girl, we click, you know. And why? Why do we click? Because I make it as my duty to reach out to her and to let her know, yo, I'm from Jamaica and I think I'm African. I am African. I am an African sister because our people come from Africa. And so we strum up conversation. And she liked that. She liked the fact that I appreciate and recognize Africa as where I come from. You know, she didn't even know. I mean, she's like, yeah, yeah, you know, she hear it somewhere, but she didn't know it was so deep. And when we start to talk and when we compare language, our ways, our likes, our dislikes, we realize that, hey, something is going on here, you know. So that's how I showcase myself. Any African people that I go around, I want them to feel like they're my brothers, they're my sisters, they're my mother. And so it is. That's why Africa appreciate Jamaica and Jamaica appreciate Africa. And Jamaica appreciate Africa first to say that that's where we come from. You know, we might not born there, but that's where our foreparents came from. And we want people to know, you know. You have people who said, oh, I'm not telling my children about those kind of history. No, we Jamaican people want our children to know that, yo, you come from Africa. Yes. And that's how we are all over the world. That's why people are drawn to us more. That's why they know us more. Hey, let's talk about the music. Again, the music. I remember when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, Bob Marley group, Bob Marley and the Wailers were advocating for Nelson Mandela in South Africa. All of the songs, Free Nelson Mandela and all of them things, they talk about repatriation is a must. You know, I heard with when I was a kid, my dad used to buy the record and play them, the records and play them. And let us hear our musician advocating for Nelson Mandela. That's why when Nelson Mandela came from prison, Jamaica is the first place he visited. Jamaica is the first foreign country he visited. Because, yeah, we use our music as liberator. Yeah. Burning spear them, man. Yeah. Those people sing redemption song. When my father used to play Hugh Massitera and all those people from South Africa, you know, I used to be dancing with to those music. So Jamaicans go above and beyond to showcase themselves, you know, in a good way and maybe in a bad way too. Because when you talk about Jamaica, you can get any kind of Jamaicans anywhere. Jamaican can be who you want them to be. But that's the reason why we are well known over the world. Sports. Yeah. In the Caribbean, you have a lot of athletes. Yeah. And I don't think we are better than anybody else. Why are we well known? Why are we noticed? When you look at Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt just creates a vibe. You know, when they win, he just create the vibe. Hey, you know, as I talked about my previous workplace that I was, there was this Polish guy. And every time when he finished his job and he's done, he would make the Usain Bolt sign. I'm done and I'm finished and I win. Yeah, yes. That's how Jamaicans are. I love my Jamaican people and I love the fact that Africa is saying, why can't we Africans be like Jamaicans? So All right. So the talking point is unity among themselves, like how Jamaican people are unified. Jamaican people, let me tell you something about Jamaican people. We fight when we're in Jamaica. When we're in Jamaica, we fight. And we have contention and all of that. But we don't carry grievance. We don't carry grievance. Remember, I tell you about my brother. I have a very strange brother. And he's very, very can be rude sometimes with his mouth. But he'll just cuss me out and tell me all kind of things where him not like about me and blah blah blah. And then I'll sit down with my and I'm just vexed and him will just come, yo, where you vex up yourself for? You know, no say true me at time. You tell a lie pan you. Why you want a drink? Where you screw up your face for? That's how we are. We don't carry grudges and malice. We can't because somebody's going to say something for you to laugh after a very, very steamy, spicy conversation and them disrespect you and tell you all kind of things. Then them mind them say, okay, me know me do her bad, me going to make she laugh. So it's still, And he talked about how when Africans go to Jamaica, how well they're received, how much they're embraced. Yeah. Yeah, because once we know, say, you come from somewhere, it's not African alone. Anybody come to Jamaica, Jamaica people make sure they're treated well, make sure they are comfortable. He even showed a clip of Woody Maya in Kingston, took a taxi, took a Uber, sorry, and didn't have the money to pay the Uber because he thought he had enough, but he didn't have enough. So he went into the bank to get the money. Hey, when he went into the bank, the machine wasn't working. And the security guy in the bank, the security man, gave him $1,000 and said, yo, take this, man. Enough respect. It's okay. He was shocked. He was in the street spinning around thinking, what just happened? So clearly, if he was that shocked, he's saying, that would not happen in my country. He said, this has never happened to me. Right? And he was saying, the guy didn't know who I am. He don't know that I'm a celebrity. He didn't ask me nothing. He just took out his money and gave it to me because I needed it. He even went back to the guy. He said he wanted to repay him just to appreciate him and gave him double up. But he said, why did you give me the money? And the guy said, you're in need. I may have money. I may help you. That's how we are. Right? So, yeah. That's how Jamaicans are. If you are like that, people are going to tell people about you. So the word is going to spread. So, my Caribbean people, if you want that, that's how you have to do it. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be genuine and kind. Guys, talking about Jamaican people accommodating you and making you feel special. I remember when I was a child, my mom, she used to be we call them higgler. She higgler. She higgler in fruits and vegetable, and she would go to the market and Saturday night, Mama come home with a little girl here or a little boy there, and we would be like, Mom, what happened? She said, well, me find this little girl in the market and she not nobody. And listen, guys, I'm talking about 9 of us, 9 children living at the house. And she carry home on regular basis. She will bring home a child. So, I remember now that, okay, how I grew up, we had a big room. So the boys' bed was over there, and the girls' bed were over there. And she makeshift like a partition, so we wouldn't be seeing the boys at night when we're sleeping. And she bring home the girl, and she brought home a girl one evening. And of course we're tidy. And me, I'm the last to get to bed because I'm always reading. When we're ready, guys, guess what? Nowhere to sleep. My space gone because this girl came home with my mom and my mom said, we can't put stranger up on the floor. So she up on the bed. So me go to mom and says, Mama, where am I gonna sleep? She said, go in the living room, go sleep on the settee or sleep on ground. You want me to put strange people coming our house? You want me to put them on ground? Hey! So I had to just grab a sheet and go into the living room, go sleep on the sofa. Or if it's more comfortable, you think she care? If me want to go on the floor, she only want to know that the stranger that she brought home is on the bed. That's how we grew up. There was this girl again on TikTok and she was talking about, she said she didn't know that homeless people in the States were not mad people. She said, I didn't know because homeless people in Jamaica are people with mental disabilities and they left home. They live on the street because they're mad. And sometimes when people in Jamaica are mentally ill, you don't know how to treat them. So you don't want them in the house to make trouble, in the yard to make trouble. And some of them are run out of the house and they're living on the street. Or they leave the house on their own accord because they're mentally ill. And she said, sorry, she didn't know that when she went to America and see sane people who are homeless don't have homes. Because guess what? If you're sane in a Jamaica and don't have nowhere to live, and you're in a community, you're not sleep out a door. You just catch up with somebody, your family member or your friend. Yeah. We're not going to see somebody say them not have nowhere to go or their mother lock them out and we say, okay, sleep out the door. No, the person is coming into your house to sleep. That's how we are. So we are grown up like that with this friendly, caring, my house is your house, my food is your food attitude. That's how Jamaican are. So when people come to Jamaica, we treat them like they come to our house. Okay. I'm saying Jamaica, but I think it's like that in the Caribbean because I remember the first time I went to St. Lucia. I went to St. Lucia more than one time. I go to St. Lucia more than one time. So the first time I went to St. Lucia, I remember we decided that we wanted to have the bus experience. Because after we went there on a cruise, we went there to spend on our holidays. So we were there about 2 weeks. So we said, okay, we're going to go to the market. But where we were staying was in the suburb. So we decided that we're going to take the bus to the market. And I remember my husband and myself and another lady that went with us, we took the bus, right? And we were on the bus. The people were so friendly, so nice. From they see that we are not St. Lucian, they get up and they give us the seat. So I'm sure it's like that all over the Caribbean. But do people know? Do people know that it's like that in the Bahamas, in Barbados, in Trinidad? They don't know because they're private with it. They're private with it. They will just get up and say, you can have my seat. But we're Jamaican. Yo, you're Jamaican? Come on, come sit down. Where you come from? Where you come from? I will start to have a conversation. I wouldn't get up and give my seat and not finding it fast in your business. Me have to know your business. And so Jamaican people stay. That's how we are. I have to know your business because I give you my seat. Yeah. And that's how we are in Jamaica. So, my friends, my African friends, you're wondering why we are like that and why you are not like that. Just take it from us. Do like us. Love people. Love yourself. Love your country. We Jamaican don't like nobody talk nothing bad about our country. Yeah, we know our country is not the best, but we're going to tell you, say, our country is the best country. Yeah, when we go with yard, we talk how bad the road is and how hard the people is in our kitchen. But when we out the street, hey, when we go abroad, we're going to showcase Jamaica as the best place on earth. When Jamaican athletes go run and they win, they're hugging one another. When if them no win, they're hugging the Africans. As long as you look like we're hugging you because we're saying, okay, me never win, but she win. So that's how we do it. I've seen it. When the Jamaicans didn't win and the African girl win, the Jamaicans rally around her in the Olympic. That's how we are. Yes, Jamaicans are so we stay and we're going to stay so for the rest of our life. We're going to die like that, all right? So, one love everybody. Bless up and peace out. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. All right? See you later. Bye.